This one's maybe more focused on upper back, hip flexor mobility, so it's a bit more global. The first one we did was a bit more targeted, specifically for your spine, for your lumbar spine. Okay, so start off on hands and knees, and then if you take one foot forward, we're just going to tuck your pelvis under and press your hands as if you're pressing up towards the ceiling. So you should feel an opening up through the front here of your thigh and also through the front of your body. And then as you breathe out, just folding forward. So breathing in, sweeping your hands up, pushing your fingers backwards and palms up, and breathing out as you come forward. So inhale, work with your breath, exhale, come forward. 2 more times, inhale up, exhale, last one. Just staying here and then just gently coming over to the side, trying to keep this knee nice and still, and then coming back up. You can then put your hands either side of that front foot, and we're just going to do a little rotation. There's a reaching up towards the sky or the ceiling if you're doing this inside. Breathing in as you reach and breathing out as you come down. And just doing that 2 more times. And then from here, just staying here, lifting up your back knee and staying down in a nice low lunge, and then just dropping that back knee and lifting it back up a few times. So you lower it down and then lift it up, but try and stay down nice and low. So again, just opening up through your hips. You'll notice hopefully also my back is staying nice and straight and not rounding my spine. Make this your last one, and then just hold it there for a few seconds before you lower that knee. We're going to take your leg out on a little angle now, and then here we're just going to work into the hamstrings. So you can bring your hands onto your pelvis. You can have them on your thigh, doesn't really matter. If you're flexible enough, have them on the floor, but if you've got tight hamstrings, then what you're going to see, and you'll see it in my back, I'm rounding my back, and when we do hamstring mobility, we want to have our backs nice and straight. And then just do that one more time, and then you can stay there and then just hinge towards that leg. You'll feel that stretch through the back of your leg. You can point your toe, just hold it flat, or if you want to stretch into your calf, you can pull your toe back up. And then finally, hands on the floor, take your leg out to the side, and then we're just toggling forwards and backwards. My back toes are stretched, tucked underneath, and here we're just opening up through the inner thigh. So this is good for hips, lower back mobility as well. We'll just do that one more time, and then you can pause. Again, just try and keep your spine nice and straight at the top so you're not rounding it. And then you're eventually just going to take that leg, sweep it behind you, and then we'll just add a little bit of stability work here. Take the opposite arm out in front, and then just hold that for a few breaths. Bring your knee down, and then just sit back on your heels. Okay, step your other foot forward, do the same on the other side. So tuck your pelvis in, sweep your hands up, breathe in, breathing out, folding forward, and again, breathing in, up. So opening up through the front of your body here. We'll do that one more time, and then we'll just take a nice gentle side stretch. Again, just trying to keep that front leg nice and still. So as you do that, make sure you engage your abdominals, and then coming back up, sweep your hands down, nice and relaxed through the shoulders, and then inhale, sweep your hand up, and exhale, bring it down, and again, inhale, open, exhale, down one more time, and then hands either side of your front foot, tuck your back toes under, and you're just going to lift and lower that back leg. So lift and lower, and then pop that knee back down on the floor, holding it there, and then bringing yourself back up. So you're going to take that leg out on a slight diagonal. Again, hands can be here in front of you, or if you're a little bit tight through your hamstrings, just bring your hands onto your thigh so you can keep your chest nice and upright. And then we'll do that one more time, and then just stay back, lift your toes, drop your chest towards your thigh, but trying to keep your back nice and straight. So imagine you've got a little piece of Velcro between your shoulder blades, and you're just using that Velcro to keep your shoulder blades towards each other. And then from there, just taking that leg out to the side, keep those back toes tucked under as you start to just toggle backwards and forwards. So this is also a nice warm-up to do before, if you're going to go for a run or a walk, if you're going to play tennis or just do a gym routine. So it's a good way of just getting blood flowing to all the muscles, warming up the muscles and lubricating the joints. And one more time. Good for decreasing any stiffness, so if you've been sitting for a while as well. And then just hold it there. And then come back onto hands and knees. And then go into your little bit of stability work on the opposite side. Just holding it there. Come on down. And then send your bottom back to your heels. If you can reach the floor with your forehead, pop your forehead on the floor. Otherwise, hands on your, 2 hands together, head on your hands. And just have a stretch out there. Okay, from here you're going to come onto your tummy. So you're going to come all the way around onto your tummy. Just bring your hands out in front of you and bring yourself up into that baby cobra, that little back extension. So you could either stay here and just take some breaths. So opening up through, imagine you can open up through your collarbone, relax your shoulders, relax your glutes, getting a little stretch through the abdominals there as well. And then just lowering yourself back down. So you could do that 3, 4, 5 times, depending on what feels good. And then as you start to, as the scar tissue, as your abdominals start to just give a little bit, then you can walk your hands either in a little bit closer to get that height, or you can start to just straighten your arms, but try and make sure you keep your pelvis down on the floor. And then when you've done that enough, just turn your head to one side, just give your bottom a little swivel side to side. So you're going to turn from there onto one side, bring your hands out, and then let your head rest on the floor. If your head doesn't reach the floor comfortably, then just get a little cushion or roll up a mat and pop your head on the floor. So you're going to reach your fingers forward, and then as you breathe in, sweep your hands up towards the ceiling and then open out to the side. Now, depending on your mobility, you may have to lift your top knee to allow you to roll back. So if you think about what we're trying to achieve here, we're trying to just get that stretch through the front here, through the pecs, through the side of the body, rotation through the upper back, the shoulder and the neck. So just allow your head to follow, and then you could pause here, you could bring your arms into goalpost arms, turning your head the opposite direction to your knees, and just taking a few breaths. From here, roll onto your back, and then we'll do that same on the other side. So you reach away, and then as you breathe in, you reach up and over and again. So don't rush it. These are supposed to be done quite slowly, rather than rush. It's better to do less of them, but do them with better quality. And we'll do that one more time. And then you can either keep your knees apart, or if you need to just open that top knee, you could bend your elbows a little bit and just turn your head towards your hand. Breathing in and out. And then from here, we're going to come all the way back round onto hands and knees. So for this one, we're going to go something called thread the needle. So you bring your hands a little bit closer underneath you, and then you take your arm up and then breathe out. So I think we did this earlier as well. Inhale, open. Exhale through. You can also do this on the stability ball, which is really nice. Exhale through one more time. Exhale through. So let your head just rest on the floor now. Walk your front hand forward and let that other arm rest down, shoulder down and head down, and just breathe and feel that stretch into your back. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So inhaling up, exhaling through. So just maybe 3 to 5 times on each side. And I'm just going to do that once more here. Let your shoulder drop down, walk your hands forward. Just try and drop down into the floor so you're not holding any tension in your body. Breathe in and out. Just notice where you are holding any tension, and then try and breathe out. And then when you're ready, come back up onto your hands and your knees. So you could either do just forwards and backwards here. Another nice thing to do is just to start to add on some circles, or even a barrel roll. So imagine you're like a barrel in the sea and you're just rolling around and around. It doesn't matter what it looks like. and then go the other way. Again, just trying to get some mobility through your spine. So lifting your ribs and then dropping your ribs down towards the floor. And do that one more time. And then from here, just take your bottom back to your heels again. This time we'll do more of a puppy dog pose, so back extension. So let your elbows drop to the floor, let your forehead drop onto the floor, and then send your bottom long behind you. So you feel that stretch all the way down your spine, taking it into a nice, lovely back extension. Okay, the final one I want to show you here is you can either do this on your knees, so you get stretched for your quads as well. You're going to take your hands behind you, and then you're just going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling, lift your bottom away from your heels, and then reach one arm up and over, and you get that lovely stretch and opening down through the side of the ribs and all the way down underneath the arms, and then bottom down, and then do the same on the other side. And once again, you can just hold it for a few breaths, and you could repeat that 3 or 4 times. The other way to do this is a little bit more challenging. So it's have your feet, it's like a reverse bridge. So you're going to lift your bottom up, feet down, knees bent, and then you're going to take one hand and again just do that extension up overhead. So really push your knees forward and hips up, hold it for a few breaths, and then repeat on the other side. So it's quite a good stretch there for the front of the shoulder too. And then come down, and then I would just finish with my feet together, lying on your foam roller or just on the floor, and just really opening up through the front of your body there, through your inner thighs. So just let yourself feel nice and heavy on your floor, on your mat. And then just take some deep breaths in through your nose, feel your abdominals rise, feel your ribs expand. And then breaths out through your mouth. So maybe just do that 10 times or a little bit longer if you can. You can also do this as a little bit of a mindfulness practice. So the one I like to do is, especially if you're doing this outside, is just thinking about all 5 of your senses in turn, and then just spending 30 seconds to a minute focusing on that sense. So what can you hear? What can you see? What can you feel? What can you touch, and what can you smell? And then when you're ready, if you haven't got time for your mindfulness, you can finish. If you have got time for mindfulness, stay here and just carry on. You should always make time for mindfulness, right? And then bring your legs together, hug your knees into your chest, and then you can have a stretch out if you want to. And then hop up and try and get on with your day.